You don't have a focus problem. Your brain has just stopped trusting you. And once your brain stops trusting you, everything feels a whole lot heavier. It's a bit like dragging yourself through mud to get something done. Look, we've all felt that somewhat in our lives. No need to be ashamed, safe environment and all that. Because let's be totally honest, you can binge a series for 3 hours straight. You can scroll for 2 hours without blinking. You can even research the most optimal gym routine for 2026, like it's a coursework for uni or something. So all that is enough evidence your brain works. It just doesn't commit to your direction. And lo and behold, there's a reason for that. I realized this one night when I opened my notes app. 6 separate routines saved. 6. Mad, I know. Each one calls something dramatic like final locking plan. I can guarantee you right now, none of them lasted more than 10 days, if you're lucky. I even renamed my alarm mods to something like no excuses. And I even put that David Goggins audio on it, who's gonna carry the boats? I did it all, I'm telling you. And still, I kept hitting snooze. And it wasn't that I lacked discipline. I just kept changing who I was trying to be. 1 week monk mode. Next week, I'm a 5 a.m. CEO. And then the next week, I'm an aesthetic gym villain. You know what I mean? I think you're getting the point, right? Every Monday, I was reborn. But my brain wasn't confused. It just stopped taking me seriously now. Take this. If your friend keeps changing plans for that holiday you're planning this summer, you're gonna end up giving up on it. And don't get me started on that. These boys cannot plan anything for their lives. It's not making it out the group chat. But look, in all seriousness, that's like your brain when dealing with you. Trying to focus while constantly reinventing yourself is like trying to build a house. Except every week you move the foundation. And it's not because you have a bad builder. You just never let the foundation, the concrete, set. So of course, nothing feels stable anymore. Of course, you feel lost every day. You don't need another day 1. You need another day 47. So in English, that translates to stop restarting. Okay, look, everyone says it's dopamine and lopamine and whatever. And don't get me wrong, it is an issue, this whole dopamine and all that. But if it was the real core issue, you wouldn't be obsessing over random things for hours. You might even catch me watching food videos and car videos on Sunday. Trust me, if you see me then, I can focus. And you can focus. We all can focus. You just avoid focusing on things that require long-term commitment. Because commitment means choosing. And choosing means killing other versions of yourself that you have in your mind. And that's the part nobody likes to really tell you. And that's why I'm here. You're welcome. You don't keep switching tasks and stuff because you're smart and curious and all that. You keep switching because you're scared. You're scared of committing to one path and just being average at it. You're scared of going all in and failing publicly. You're scared of choosing wrong. If you go all in and you're still not special, it hurts. It hurts your ego. So basically, instead of committing to one thing, you stay in that preparation mode, or research mode, or optimization mode, or tweaking mode, whatever you want to call it. It feels productive, but it's safe. Because if you never fully commit to it, you can never fully fail as well. And your brain knows that. I want you to really reflect on all of that. It gets deep. You've probably heard this all before, but if you stay consistent for 2 years at one thing, your life would be completely different. 2 years in the gym, 2 years building a skill, 2 years of pure depth. That's not mad to say, is it? That's compound growth. But 2 years feels absolutely terrifying because there's nowhere to hide in those 2 years. You can't blame dopamine after 2 years. You can't even blame motivation either. You either built something or you didn't, and there's evidence. That's why you always pick a small time frame like 2 weeks because it feels more comfortable. 2 weeks protects your ego. And look, I don't want this to make you feel so underwhelmed and unmotivated. You know that one quote they say, something like, the best time to plant a tree was yesterday, but the second best time is now. You can start now, and in 2 years' time, you could be a jacked, smart, handsome lad. Or woman, don't get it wrong, but you get the point. Look, people, your brain is efficient. If you keep switching direction, it stops investing energy. It's like when someone says they're starting a new diet every week. After a while, you just nod and say, yeah, off you go, mate. Your brain does the same thing. Cool, another plan? See you next Monday. So it conserves energy. And you call that lack of focus. It's not a lack of focus. It's called a lack of consistency. And I'm not saying all this like I've mastered it, okay? I still fight the urge to constantly reinvent myself every few weeks. Sometimes I didn't switch routines because they weren't working. I switched because I hated not being good enough at it yet. And I'm gonna fall on my own sword and say it. I just gave up. But here's the real shit. Being bad at something long enough to the point where you just get good at it, that's uncomfortable. That's where focus lives. Take YouTube for example. I'm gonna be honest, for me personally, these videos took a while to make. And if I don't stick to my guns, I can easily quit before I make something big happen. If I go through these times where it's hard, where I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm still learning, I can come out the other side a better person, for sure. So the next natural thing is asking, what actually fixes this? It's not deleting Instagram for 48 hours like a once wise Rohan did at 16 or something, thinking he was going to change his whole life. And don't worry, you can rest. It's not another 56-step productivity system. You simply just need to find your identity. Now, real talk. Pick one direction for 90 days. Not forever, just 90 days. But also accept that other things might grow a little bit slower. Because that depth to focus on that one thing, it requires your full attention and full focus. If it feels cinematic, it won't last. You have to stop romanticizing the resets. Oh, I promised myself this time it's different. That change isn't discipline. That's just novelty. You know when something's new so you get gassed with it. Real progress is repetitive and boring. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. But once you realize that, get over the fact that it can get boring and it can get repetitive, let it compound. Let it keep stacking up. Because then that tells your brain, this is who we are now. This is the man or this is the woman I am. And slowly it starts taking you seriously now. It starts believing in you again. It sounds like one of them hero movies, isn't it? Now look, reduce all that outside pressure, noise, all of it. Get rid of all those rotten apples. You know, those people who make you question yourself every 3 days, who aren't there to back you when times get tough. You don't need more advice. You don't need more opinions. You just need fewer options. I promise you, listen, you need more intensity in the right area. You need fewer versions of yourself. Look, a train without rails doesn't move any faster. It just burns fuel in the place it's at. And that's what you're feeling. Burning effort and getting nowhere. I swear it hurts to admit, but me too sometimes. I'm gonna hold my hands up. All that aside, take what you can from this video and a few final words from me. Pick one, stay. You know what that is? That's that real focus. And hey, before you click off to that food video below this, I gotta tell you something really important. Don't let me beat you to the top. Nah, but in all seriousness, love and guidance, and I'll see you up there.